Welcome to the deep dive. Tonight, we step into a story that isn't about a sudden snap or, desperate need. It's about something colder, calculated, pure malice executed with chilling patience.
Yeah, it starts in a place you'd expect noise, maybe chaos,
hmm
but here it's quiet, eerily quiet.
We're in the Al Warak police station, Cairo. It's late 2009. Set the scene for us.
Okay, so picture it. 4 a.m., holding cell. The air's probably stale, cold. You've got maybe, a dozen guys crammed in there?
Right.
And they're talking, the usual stuff. Petty theft, maybe a fight that got out of hand, owing money, crimes of opportunity mostly, street stuff.
Standard procedure, almost. But then there's one guy.
Exactly. Walid, he's 26,
Yeah.
and he's just sitting there, silent. Doesn't say a word about why he's been brought in.
Because he knows.
Oh, he knows. Whatever these other guys did, impulsive acts, maybe stupid mistakes,
Mm.
that doesn't even compare. His wasn't an accident. It was the end result of a plan, a decade-long plan.
A blueprint for betrayal. That's what we're tracing today, isn't it? The path of this man they called Faisal's snake.
That's the mission. We need to go back, way back, more than 10 years before that morning in the cell. We need to understand the kind of person who operates like this, the sheer patience involved in sustaining that level of, malice.
Okay, let's do it. Let's rewind to 1998. Where does this seed get planted?
We're in a village in Al-Qalyubia. Walid is 16, living at home, parents, 7 brothers and sisters.
A big family, normal life, presumably.
For the siblings, yeah, they were getting on with things, school, work, the usual progression. But Walid, he was different, failing, consistently failing.
What's driving that? Just lack of ability or something else?
The sense you get is it's darker than that. Not ambition, not really. It's described as this bitter, corrosive hatred. Envy. He didn't just want success. He seemed to resent anyone else having it. Possessions, status.
You wanted what they had or wanted them not to have it.
Exactly. And money. It all boiled down to money. He saw it as the only thing that mattered, and he'd do anything, literally anything, to get his hands on it.
So that leads him to Cairo.
Right. Against his mother's wishes, apparently she begged him not to go. But he heads for the city. His only contact there. His Aunt Sabra.
Okay, family connection.
Nominally. She had been married since '93 to this merchant. Respected guy, successful, wealthy. The key thing here is wealthy.
And Walid sees this.
He sees opportunity. When Sabra visited home, he wasn't looking at his aunt. He was auditing her. The gold she wore, the cash she might have carried. He zeroed in on the husband.
Not as an uncle, though.
No, as a bank.
Huh.
A potential investor for some large-scale business.
Yeah.
This wasn't about family ties. It was target acquisition from the very beginning.
Which brings us to the really chilling part. The plan. He's 16, but he figures out he can't just show up asking for money.
He needs a facade. He has to look the part. Experienced, sophisticated, someone you'd trust with a serious business venture, not just some kid from the village.
And that takes time. A lot of time.
5 years. Think about that. 5 years of groundwork. He moves to Faisal, a district in Giza,
Sure.
part of Greater Cairo.
Mm.
And for the first 2 years, he's doing grunt work.
Right.
Day labor, selling cotton candy on the street, earning maybe 5, 10 Egyptian pounds a day, barely surviving.
But it wasn't just about survival, was it?
No, it was reconnaissance. He's using this time, this drudgery, to map out the entire commercial area, figure out what works, what makes money. It shows incredible, kind of scary dedication to the long con.
And he finds his target industry.
He does. He figures out that a natural juice shop is the way to go. Apparently, he had talking to someone working at one, found out the daily profit margins, saw the potential for quick, high returns.
So phase 2, the apprenticeship. This is around 2000.
Yeah, roughly 2000 to 2005. He gets himself hired at a juice shop right there on the main street in Faisal. And for 5 years, he becomes the model employee.
Learning the trade.
Mastering it. He works his way up from just selling juice to becoming the store manager. He learns inventory, pricing, buying supplies, everything. The owner apparently thought he was gold. Honest, hardworking, reliable.
But
Underneath, he wasn't just learning how to run a business. He was meticulously studying how to cheat a business. Every trick for skimming profits, manipulating stock, cooking the books. He was becoming an expert in fraud, planning to become the owner's competitor, using the owner's own methods against him.
Wow. So by 2006, he's ready.
He's 23. He's built this persona, Master Walid, the experienced juice man. He's got the knowledge, the confidence built on deceit, but confidence nonetheless. He goes back to Aunt Sabra and her husband.
And presents the plan.
Exactly. He lays out this juice shop proposal. He's got all the details. It sounds completely convincing because, well, he has spent 5 years in the trenches. Sabra's impressed, tells her husband, who's 76 by now, "You have to listen to this young man."
And the uncle buys it.
Hook, line, and sinker. They agree on a 50-50 partnership. The catch: the husband puts up all the capital, rent for the shop, fitting it out, all the initial stock, everything. Walid's contribution, management and administration, his expertise.
It's the perfect setup for him.
Textbook. And he doesn't waste any time. Shop opens within 2 months. Prime location in Faisal. And from day one, the cheating starts. Rampant fraud, inventory manipulation, fake receipts, skimming cash.
But how did the uncle not notice? If he's a successful merchant.
That's the disturbing genius of it. Walid was careful. He didn't keep all the profit. He paid the uncle his share, but it was only about 20% of what the shop was actually making.
Still, 20% return. Wouldn't that seem low?
You'd think so.
Yeah.
But maybe the uncle was treating it as passive income, didn't scrutinize it too closely. Maybe Walid convinced him margins were tight initially. Whatever the reason, Walid paid him just enough. Enough to maintain trust, avoid suspicion. The silent theft continued.
And it worked. For how long?
About a year and a half, smooth sailing, fraudulent profit rolling in. Then, mid-2007, everything changes. Walid gets a call from Sabra.
What happened?
Her husband, the uncle, has been hospitalized. He's in critical condition. In Al-Warak.
Okay, so Walid rushes to the hospital. Family duty.
He rushes there, yes. But what's going through his mind? It's terrifying. Sabra's frantic, worried, sick about her husband outside the ICU. Walid, he's standing there calculating.
Calculating what?
Inheritance. If the old man dies, who gets his share of the business? Who are the heirs? How does he stop them from digging into the shop's finances and uncovering the years of fraud? His only concern was protecting his stolen enterprise.
That is incredibly cold.
Pure self-preservation. Zero empathy. And when the husband stabilizes, just slightly, Walid makes his move. Immediately.
What does he do?
He puts the pressure on Sabra. Intense pressure. He tells her, look, if he dies now, his other heirs' kids from a previous marriage, maybe, they'll take everything. You'll be left with nothing from this business.
He's playing on her fear.
Absolutely. He convinces her the only way to protect yourself is to change the partnership contract, get the husband's name off it, put her name on as the 50% partner.
But why would Sabra agree to basically cut out her dying husband?
This is where it gets even darker. Walid hadn't just been focused on the business. He'd been watching Sabra, too. He knew things.
Knew what?
He knew she wasn't exactly faithful, that she had her own secrets, maybe exploiting her husband's wealth herself through illicit relationships. Walid apparently knew she was morally compromised.
So he used that against her.
It seemed so. He hinted, subtly, or maybe not so subtly, that if she didn't agree to the contract change, her secrets might just find their way back to the rest of the family. It was blackmail, essentially, using her own shame as leverage.
Wow, a shared corruption.
Precisely. And Sabra, trapped between fear of exposure and losing the potential profits, caved.
She agreed.
And the husband,
The sick man.
believing his wife was acting in their best interests, or perhaps too ill to fully comprehend, he signed the amended contract. Just 2 days after stabilizing from critical condition, Walid had successfully insulated the fraudulent business from any legitimate claims by the real heirs.
And the timing.
The timing is just gut-wrenching. Exactly 1 week after that contract was changed, the merchant died. Natural causes, it seems. But Walid had perfectly positioned himself. His stolen asset was secure.
So now he's partners with his aunt, the one he blackmailed.
Yeah. And for the next year or so, the scam continues. Walid keeps running the shops, skimming the profits. Sabra comes by once a month to collect her 50% share of the reported income. Financially, Walid has won. He got everything he set out to get.
But it wasn't enough, was it?
No. This is where the story takes another even more disturbing turn. The greed seems satisfied, but the underlying sickness, the envy, it needs a new target.
What was it this time?
Sabra herself, specifically her relationships. Walid became consumed with jealousy. Why was she seeing other men? Didn't she realize he was the architect of her current comfort? It morphed into this sense of personal inadequacy, a twisted possessiveness.
He felt insufficient.
Yeah, and he decided. He decided he needed to be with her, romantically, sexually, with his own aunt, the one whose husband he defrauded and whose secrets he used as leverage.
This is spiraling way beyond financial crime now.
Completely. The calculated, patient planning starts to fray, replaced by something more volatile, more personal. The core toxicity is finding a new, uglier outlet.
And this leads to the final act, 2009.
Yes. One morning, around 11 a.m., Walid goes to Sabra's apartment in Al Warak.
Why? What was the pretext?
It's not entirely clear if there was a specific business pretext. Maybe just a visit. They talk for a bit. Then, while her back is turned, maybe in the kitchen, he grabs something heavy, a wooden stick.
Oh, no.
And he evicts her, strikes her on the head, suddenly, violently.
Just like that.
Just like that. The attack apparently terrifies her into submission. The shift from nephew and business partner to violent attacker must have been shocking, paralyzing.
And then?
He assaults her, forces her into a sexual encounter. She's clearly terrified, maybe seeing the evil people later described in his eyes.
It doesn't end there, does it?
No. About 10 minutes later, he forces her again. A second assault. She complies, completely subjugated, likely fearing for her life given his instability.
This is horrific. What happens in his head after that?
It's like the frenzy breaks for a moment. Reality crashes back in. But his first thought isn't remorse or fear of the police. It's fear of family.
He's worried she'll tell his mother.
Exactly. That Sabra will expose the assault, maybe even hints of the fraud to his mother, his siblings, the family shame, the judgment. That's what terrifies him most.
And that fear drives the final decision.
Yes. He decides, in that moment, she cannot be allowed to speak ever again. He has to silence her permanently.
How? How does he do it?
He ties her hands with a rope. Sabra, realizing what's happening, desperately pleads for her life. She offers him everything, all her money, her gold, anything he wants. Just spare her.
But he's beyond reason now.
Completely. He ignores the pleas, ignores the offers of wealth, the very thing that drove him for a decade. He goes to the kitchen, gets a knife. He stabs her repeatedly, 26 times. It's overkill. A frenzied attack driven by panic, the need to silence her, absolutely. She dies there, instantly.
My God. And then the coldness returns.
Almost immediately. The panic subsides, the calculation kicks back in. He ransacks the bedroom, takes cash, takes gold. But even then, standing over her body, his mind goes back to the business.
The contract.
Yeah. He's wondering what happens now. What happens to the partnership agreement? It's just unbelievable. His primary concern, after murder and assault, is the legal status of his stolen shop.
So he needs to cover his tracks.
Right. He finds gasoline, likely in the kitchen, douses the apartment, sets it on fire, destroys the evidence, or tries to.
Then he just leaves.
Flees back to Faisal, goes home, changes his clothes, and then reports to the juice shop. Tries to act like it's just another day, attempting to slip back into the normalcy of the life he built on lies.
But a fire, a body, that doesn't stay hidden.
Not for long. Neighbors see the smoke, call it in. Security forces arrive, find Sabra's body. She was 45.
And the investigation?
Forensics quickly confirms the fire was arson, deliberate. The medical examiner's initial report is brutal. Cause of death, strangulation first, then the 26 stab wounds.
So he strangled her too.
It seems that way from the report. Strangulation, then stabbing. And crucially, the report confirms the sexual assault happened before she died.
Is there anything linking it to Walid immediately?
Witnesses. People saw him. The nephew visiting that morning, seen leaving around the time the fire would have started. The connection is made very quickly.
So they track him down?
They find him at his home, and the facade just crumbles. The moment he sees the police, he confesses. Everything. Spills the entire story.
Just like that. No denial.
Apparently, immediate confession. It's like the pressure of the years of deception, the horror of what he'd done, it just broke him when confronted.
And his family. You mentioned his fear of their judgment.
They were in shock. Absolute disbelief. They couldn't reconcile the ambitious young man they thought they knew, the one who built a business, with this monster capable of such calculated cruelty and violence.
What was the outcome legally?
Charged, convicted, sentenced to death. And that final chilling detail, during the investigation, he apparently mentioned, almost casually, that he suspected his family wouldn't even claim his body after the execution. That's how alienated he knew he'd become.
So the story of Walid, Faisal's snake, it really forces you to look beyond just the final violent act.
Absolutely. It's about the decade that led up to it, the slow, meticulous cultivation of greed, of envy, the way he weaponized trust and family ties. And that final horrifying detail, worrying about the business contract right after the murder, it speaks to a complete absence of, well, humanity, a moral vacuum.
Yeah, that trajectory, the long-term deception, the blackmail, then shifting from that calculated financial crime into sudden, brutal sexual violence. It's a terrifying progression.
It shows someone fundamentally broken, perhaps, where success in one corrupt endeavor just created a void that needed to be filled by something even darker. The malice just kept escalating, searching for an outlet.
It leaves you with a really unsettling thought, doesn't it? If someone is willing to invest years, literally years, of patient deception, sacrificing every bond purely for gain and maybe the perverse satisfaction of destroying someone else's life, how do you even spot that?
Right. Can society, can the law even recognize that kind of deep, internal, patiently nurtured malevolence before it explodes? Or are people like Walid destined to play out their long game until the devastating end? That's the question his story forces us to confront.